I got a score to settle with this son of a bitch right here.
Let's go, buddy.
We've decided that we've got a lot more to talk about in terms of unwritten rules of baseball. For whatever reason, Patrick, Corey, baseball mapper, you know us, we have drawn lines in the sand. We seem to have different feelings regarding the unwritten rules of baseball. At least the most recent one.
Right. And this is legit. This isn't one of those things like, I can't tell if you're BSing me or not. No.
That's what I usually say.
Right. No. Right. This is real.
He's not kidding.
We have a divide on this. Mm-hmm. We're going to settle it right here. So let's go.
I hope so. All right. 3-0 count. This week, we saw a player when his team was up. What were the Sox at? 12 runs? No.
15-4?
15-4. 11 runs. It's not over. 7th inning? 8th inning? I don't know. You wind up having a position player come in, a guy who's pitched before, throws 46-mile-an-hour meatballs, and a White Sox American League Rookie of the Year candidate, Yermin Mercedes.
Well, he can't find the strike zone. So, ball. It's 3-0 now.
3-0, and you're up by 11. Are you supposed to swing away, or do you take? Unwritten rule of baseball says what?
You take.
You take.
And in fact,
take walks all day.
In this situation, 500 plus major leaguers have chosen to take. The one that didn't, Yermin Mercedes.
Now, Yermin Mercedes is a very interesting character. This is a guy who has 10 years in minor league baseball. He's played independent league baseball. Did you know that Yermin Mercedes has pitched in the Pecos League before? Independent baseball.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he really did. And you find that out when Yermin Mercedes, a month ago in April in Boston on Patriot Day, is called into the game when they're down by 7 against the Red Sox at like 10 in the morning, whenever the hell they have to play a game on Patriot Day. When they're wearing the yellow City Connect jerseys that you like so much.
Yeah.
He winds up coming in, and Yermin is throwing 80 miles. He gets up to 87 miles an hour, and you find out he used to play in independent league on his path, his wavy, winding road to Major League Baseball, where he's finally gotten a chance to play. He's even pitched in games. This is a guy who's usually a catcher. Now he's a DH because he doesn't do anything particularly well defensively, but he can hit the hell out of a ball.
I feel like along that path, there's been a lot of Popeye's chicken sandwiches, a lot of tacos.
He's a good-looking son of a bitch. I like him in that jersey. Number 73 might be the next White Sox jersey I buy. I'll tell you that.
And triple XL. It's a big jersey.
I want to have it fit me. I need at least a 2X. Anyway, so he gets up there with an opportunity to solidify AL Rookie of the Year. He's coming off an April AL Rookie of the Month.
Nothing is on the line at that at bat.
He comes up to the bat, and you know what? He's not going to sit there and take it. It doesn't matter. And if you're going to put the guy who just so happens to be the identical player of the Minnesota Twins, fan favorite, big, lovable, round, cuddly teddy bear, a studio, you might as well hit the hell out of the ball. Now, people are trying to hit that ball, even in coming up ahead of time. He is all over the place. He is throwing less than 50 miles an hour, which we could both beat on the radar, by the way. He goes up there, he's throwing it up there, and if he gets one over the strike zone, why not swing away? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Strike out?
On 3-0, there's no risk of striking out because that's how baseball works. So you take.
So you just take.
You take.
Why?
You take.
So tell me why you have to take it 3-0, even if you're up 8, 9, 10, 11 runs.
Because you respect your opponent enough not to run with the score. It doesn't matter if you win 15-4. You don't need an extra run. Right?
Is the game over? Wasn't it the 7th inning? Is the game over?
Basically, the game's over when
we assume it's
a
over.
Position player.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So who cares? The stats don't matter at that point. It doesn't matter.
If the game doesn't matter, then stop the game.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop the game. We have games going on that count.
You and Major League Baseball are going to love changing the game together, man. Let's change it. Let's just end it.
I think the counter argument is that you stop the game at 7 innings because they're already taking official games ending in 7 innings. I would say that's bullshit. The game isn't over until we get to 9, and I don't give a shit if it's 25-4. Let every position player throw meatball BP pitches over the strike zone if they can. And if they get hit out of the ballpark, so be it. If you're going to keep playing 9 innings, guys are going to get hit. It's going to happen.
I feel like I always take this back to a societal thing because I think that's where it goes.
It's important.
You know, eventually, at some point. And I think at this point in society, it's fuck you, got mine right now, right?
I'm going to get mine.
And so it's like, I don't give a shit about you or anything else, I'm going to get mine. And that's the attitude Yermin Mercedes took up to the plate there. They don't care about the opponent. They don't care about respect for the game. None of that stuff. He's going to get his. And I think that's a bad thing for society and for the game of baseball.
7th inning. Game's not over. I want to flip this real quick. Go back to that game a month ago when he was on the mound pitching against the Boston Red Sox. Another guy who's pitched just as much as a studio of the Minnesota Twins. Again, very similar players, fan favorite players of their organizations. Everything that they do seems to be gold. I mean, there is now a burger made in Chicago at a restaurant in Chicago named the Yerminator. He is very popular. There is very little he can do wrong. So if he comes on the mound as big and round and silly as he looks, and he's throwing 80 miles an hour to start, it's like, maybe he can pitch. Who cares? They were losing by 7 runs. He walks the first player, and that player stole the base. The Boston Red Sox player stole the base against him. Did I think that Yermin Mercedes needed to beam the next batter that he faced? I didn't give a shit. I don't care. That doesn't matter. If he is on the pitcher's mound and he is pitching to Major League, he faced JD Martinez in that at bat. He was coming up. You know what he did? He drove in a run because the bases were loaded, and he leads the American League in RBIs. Is he not supposed to swing? He's the RBI machine.
Not on 3-0.
The position player is up there throwing balls to him that he feels he can crush. It looks like a BP ball. It's Yermin Mercedes. He's going to hit it. And I'm okay with that.
In the NBA, when you're up 120-80 and you take a three-pointer, the next time you attempt a three-pointer, you get your ass put on the wood.
Is it a real foul or is it a fake foul?
No, you're getting laid out.
Okay, it's about time.
And there's no reason to run up the score when you're up 40 late in the game. It's accepted that you just don't take that
Take your time, dribbling up the court. Right. Run the clock out.
Run the clock out.
Football does the same thing.
Try a layup. You don't run up the score. It's a respect thing.
What does baseball do to avoid... to run out the clock? What is baseball going to do? Is putting in the position player running up the run? Is it running the clock?
No, that's an analytics thing that has come around now. So it's saving bullpen and all that BS.
Right.
So that's a symptom of another problem.
And I would argue the problem is that then they don't want to put their pitchers in. If you put in a major league pitcher who is throwing 90 miles an hour, your batters are more accustomed to the situation, and the inning, it shouldn't be dragging on as long. It could be 1-2-3 inning. It could be out of that inning earlier. They just don't want to use a pitcher. You put in a position player who's not accustomed to, especially one throwing 46 miles an hour. Don't be surprised when they leave the yard. To say that a major league hitter, especially one who's never had this opportunity, and Yermin has it now, and he has to keep his opportunity. He's trying to keep that position when Eloy Jimenez comes. The only reason he's on that roster is because a guy is out of the lineup right now. He needs to keep that spot. You know what keeps that spot? Home runs, RBIs, show what he can do with the bat. No matter who's pitching to him. If you don't like it, don't pitch that guy to him.
He's not sticking around another day in the MLB because he hit a home run at 47 miles an hour off a position player. So stop it with that line of reasoning. That's not true.
You don't think this could land him a contract at the end of the year?
Hitting a home run off a position player? No,
it adds to his statistics. Everything he does shows that he is willing to play to the end. He hustles out a hit on the ground. He is doing everything he can to keep this moment he's captured on this lineup. He will do whatever it takes. My biggest concern with what happened is the fact that a manager who Tony La Russa may be a Hall of Fame manager, but you cannot risk losing your clubhouse by speaking out against. I don't care if he disagrees with it completely. He can have that conversation in-house. Why does a manager of a team need to speak out about the unwritten rules of baseball to the media? Keep it in-house. Yeah. That's what all major league teams should do.
Completely agree with Tony La Russa.
What?
I completely disagree with the fact that he went against his own player in public. I would have done that.
Right.
It's a bad move. I completely agree with the sentiment, the idea of what he's saying, that, your boy needs to learn how to play the game right and have some respect. That's all good, but I wouldn't call him out in public.
You could deliver that message in the clubhouse.
Right. And so obviously his own manager had a problem with it. The opposing manager had a problem with it. The opposing pitcher the next day had a problem with it when he threw at him.
Notice that Yermin Mercedes was batting cleanup the next day. So if he had a problem with it, he could have handled it by taking his ass out the lineup, but he needed that bat and forth against the Twins in order to take the final game. Right?
Right. Yeah. Good. You beat up on a terrible team. Go Sox.
First
They're
place
also
American
right.
League Central. Here's the deal. We may disagree on this one, but the unwritten rules of baseball are unique compared to other sports. Something about this sport has hundreds of years worth of protection over these things that have never even made it into the rule book. Players feel they have to police things. I don't want Yermin Mercedes to risk an injury for just trying to hold on to this moment in time that he finally has because some pitcher's offended or some position player's offended because he hit a home run out. Should have been surprised.
Not running up the score is not an unwritten rule unique to baseball. It's an unwritten rule unique to football, baseball, basketball, every other damn sport out there. It's common sense. And it's a good idea to respect your opponent and not play those games. It just is. Fuck you, I got mine. Shouldn't be the rule of the land.
I just think, ultimately, when it comes down to it, Yermin Mercedes, AL Rookie of the Year.
No.
That's what I said. I said it all the time. You know what it is. Unwritten rules, we're going to come back to these as we go throughout the season. These things always come up. Are you allowed to bunt or slide to take out a no-hitter? There's a lot of no-hitters this year. There's going to always be an unwritten rule. We'll see where we fit on these things, and we'll discuss them too at Baseball Mapper. Until next time.